So a question that came up as we were making this podcast is whether or not generosity applies in what must be one of the most cutthroat areas of business right now, which is getting a job. We asked Harvey Mackay, who actually just wrote a book for Portfolio called Use Your Head to Get Your Foot in the Door, which is all about finding a job.
People have continually asked me when I'm interviewing applicants, so what do I look for? Well, of course, number one is always trust and integrity, but then right alongside happens to be generosity. I mean, I want to see what really turns this human on that I'm looking at. I want to really look into this person's heart and this applicant's heart as to what they're made of. Have they been a giver in grade school, in high school, in college, in their prior jobs? Do they really care about people? I like to say that we as a company humanize our workforce, and we always have our antenna up as to how we can help our people. Well, that's the kind of person that we want from a teamwork standpoint to join our company. And, of course, being generous and giving back means volunteerism. I can tell you that my father got a hold of me one day after I graduated from the University of Minnesota, and he said, Harvey, 25% of your life, I want you to be devoted to volunteerism. And, of course, that's what I've been doing my entire life ever since he laid down that kind of ultimatum. So whether it's cancer or heart or United Way or boys or girls clubs, University of Minnesota foundations, raising money, the arts, doesn't matter. This has been my lifestyle. That's how we hire at Mackay Envelope Company, and that's what I'm looking for. I've had people in my office come in and say, I sent out 100 resumes. I sent out 150 resumes, 200 resumes, never heard a lick. It happens all the time. You hear it on television. You read it in the newspapers about all the people, that just absolutely can't even get to first base. Well, first of all, you have to know the rules of the game. And the rules of getting a job, and I repeat, getting a job is a job, is that 67%, and this number hasn't changed very much the last 25 years, and I'm not so sure it won't change much the next 25 years, which, of course, in my book I happen to speak to in volumes, and that is networking. 67% of all jobs are found through networking. So what does that mean? Well, if you happen to be a generous person, if you happen to be volunteering for many organizations, whether it be church or synagogue, again, or the arts or whatever, as you're volunteering and as you're raising money and as you're helping people, all right, guess what? You're building a network. Now, that's not why you're volunteering. That's not why you're generous, but you have to at least be active out there in the community, and every person knows approximately 200 people. And so that's a good start when you're looking for a job. Networking, again, is a huge factor in getting that job you want. Why am I making a money-back guarantee on this book? Well, let me read from you verbatim what's the back of the book, what it says on the back of the book. Remember, it says you can't simply read this book. You have to study it, underline it, highlight it, and take notes. I feel so confident in these principles that if anyone buys this book and practices these principles for 6 months and they still don't have a job, I will cheerfully offer them their money back. And so I'm very proud to make that statement. I've practiced being a mentor and helping people for 40 years, and I know 3 things about these principles. Number 1, they work. Number 2, they work. And number 3, they work.